What's up guys, Scorpion K3 here, and it's time for a new game to my channel. We're going to be playing Moonlighter. As you can see, I've played it a little bit before, but I want to start a new game with you guys. And we're going to be playing it on the normal hard mode, and we'll see where things take us. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to go about this, because I kind of want to do it I kind of want to play through this with you guys, but I don't really care about the story because I've already gone through it. So maybe if you're worried about the story, I don't like to say it, but I'm probably not going to be the one to watch for that. I'm mostly going to be going just straight through the game mode, show people how it all works, and yeah, that's kind of my goal, is to just get through the game and teach people how to play it, really. Less focus on story and more focus on actual gameplay. Whoops. I could also not be terrible. Gotta quickly run through the tutorial mode. Tutorial modes are always so much fun. Teach us how to play the game. Basically, you dodge with left trigger, get chests, open them up, grab the loot, and move on with your life. And this is an evil area that's destined to make you die. There's no way to complete this, at least not to my knowledge. I'm sure there are some really, really good players out there who have managed to make it through this, but you're not supposed to. You're supposed to die here. So, can they all kill me? Thank you. Just, there we go. When you die, you drop everything in your inventory, you cry about it, you get spat out of the dungeon, and your buddy comes and finds you this time, but normally you just kind of wake up. Now, I don't remember the prices of things, so I'll be relearning all that. It's been a while since I played this game last. So it's going to be mostly a new thing for me. Again, even though I've played it a decent amount, it's going to be a new experience for me again. Unfortunately, you guys are going to have to go through the tutorial with me. Always a little bit on the boring side, but not too bad. Basic idea is we're trying to go through these dungeons and figure out what's going on with the keys, and we're a little guy running a shop. And every night we go into the dungeon, run through the dungeon, and then during the day, excuse me for a second, and then during the day we operate our shop. So that's the basic shtick of this game. There's a bit of a storyline, but this guy wants us to open the shop. And this is our main sale places. People will come in, they'll look at the price of things, and that little happy face means it's fair priced. Sell it to them. And so, like, this item we see is 70 more than our other items. So obviously this guy is going to be like, ugh. That's the face of overpriced. We have our merchant notebook to keep track, so we saw that 100 was fair and 170 was too much. So it's a good way to keep track of things. And the old guy gave us a sword, so now we have a sword and shield. And we also still have our mop. Our shield has two functions. It can either block or attack. So first things first is going into the first floor dungeon. Pretty simple. Now a thing we'll want to be looking out for is when we enter a room, we'll want to see if there's any holes in the floor. If there are holes, we want to pay attention and see if any of them are sparkling. Because if they are, there's a secret area underneath. Now this game's pretty brutal. See, like this room, none of the holes were sparkling, so we don't have to worry about it too much. And it's always good to attack from the safest parameter you can. Now these little slime guys are nice because their ingredients will give us potions once we unlock that ability. None of these are sparkling, but we do need to read. We do need to read this for the sake of progression, if I remember right. And this little guy is the one we need to read, and this shows us our goal. We have to get each of the keys to access, and it sounds simple, but it most certainly is not. And that basically just shows us that once we get enough items, we will be able to warp back to the surface. And that's what the game wanted us to do. So that was our basic first run through this game and dungeon. And we come back and we'll meet our old guy again. And while we're playing, we're going to be trying to make as much money as possible and activating this thing they're showing on screen for us right now. This will add some new features to our town, so we can buy a blacksmith or an alchemist, and then some other things we'll deal with later on. And we can also invest in upgrades for our shop. A lot of them don't unlock until after we beat bosses of the appropriate floors, but for now, we're going to go back to our shop, and we need to remember that this was overpriced, so we want to move it back down to the 100. And then we'll want to figure out if this crystallized energy is worth 100, and this down here is only worth 2 gold. We can approximate how much the iron bar is going to be worth, so we'll move that onto our thing and sell them for 50, because they're about halfway in between. Now this is over the 250 gold mark, so we know we can sell it for 250 or more. I'm going to sell it for 260 and see how people react. And these vines are very nearly worthless, in all honesty, but we will put them on the shop for 3 gold. And then we open up our shop for the day, and that's our main mechanic. We want happy customers, and we want to make lots of sales. People will only wait in line for so long, so you want to be quick in making sure to get them their money. And then this guy is worth about 250, so we'll grab these. Put them on for 250. Throw these guys on. And they are probably not worth a whole lot, so I'll sell them for 7 or 8. Yeah. And we'll just wait, see how people react, adjust our prices accordingly. She's not a fan of that price, but she's willing to pay for it. And that guy's reaction tells us that we way underpriced that, which we'll have to fix the next time we get a hold of some. This is worth more than this, but less than 250, so we'll sell this one for 120. Makes sense to me. Add that on. And that's kind of the main mechanic of this game, is we adjust and wheel and deal with prices, we save up our money, and we adventure into the dungeon. So apparently 120 is too much. This guy got mad at that, so we'll turn that down. Set that at 110, right? Because 120 was too much. Our iron bars are overpriced. Okay, we'll turn them down to 40. I know I need those for some crafting recipes we'll use later, so I'm going to hold off on selling those. Put these in for 90? Or 80. We'll do 80. Keep our customers happy. Now, I could have tried to snake that item out from under her so that I was selling it for a better price, but people get mad when you do that, and I'd rather have sales instead of angry customers. Really. You can auto pick up and set down things to readjust their prices after you've done it if you have more than one of the same thing out. So, yeah, that's a thing that exists. But this is Moonlighter Mondays. Can't remember if I said that in the intro, but that's what I'm calling this. This is Moonlighter Mondays. I'm going to be releasing a new episode of Moonlighter every Monday is going to be the goal. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. Sticks are worth more than that, but less than this, so we'll make them 5, I guess? 5 gold. 5. Yeah, there you go. Pay 5 gold per stick. Because sticks are crafty, I guess. It's a good day when you sell out on all of your bag inventory, and we have some spare storage back here which we'll have to put things into, but you know, complaining about it, but I guess the demand, yeah, you can see in the top right corner of the GUI here that the demand is low, which means people aren't going to pay as much for them, but don't really have a choice in terms of selling things because I need money, so I can't really afford to not sell anything yet. But that's just how the bricks are. People are gonna have to get used to my stock. Hopefully next time we will have a bit more variety in our stock. And then at the end of the day, it shows us how much we sold everything for and how much money we made. And then we can head on back out and we'll head down to the dungeon. But first, I'm going to invite the blacksmith to join us. Now this guy is our main mechanic for leveling up, so to speak, because the game doesn't have an experience system like other RPGs and such. We gain more strength when we get new weapons and armor. So there's all different kinds of swords, spears, gloves, bows. They all kind of attack differently. Me personally, I'm a fan of gloves. I shouldn't have sold all my teeth shards and I would have been able to make them. But for now, we want to look into getting armor. Now, there's several different types of armor. There's iron, steel, and fabric. And you have to kind of decide what you value more. Steel has more armor, but reduces your movement speed. Iron is kind of the middle ground, and fabric has less armor, but increases your mobility. So you kind of have to decide what you want to go for. I tend to favor the iron in my resources, and then I like it better because it's the middle ground. I don't get a speed bonus, but I don't get any detraction, but I still get a good solid amount of armor. And other than the gloves, because I do want to get the gloves, I think I might go for a big sword, because the training sword I don't really like. I feel like it takes too long to swing. Or maybe I'll go for the spear. I think I'll go for the spear. So we need more teeth stone, obviously. And that's another thing. You can keep track of a wish list so you know what resources you need to save and not sell so that you can create these things. And I'm going to go ahead and invest in the wooden hat too, because this is also another important mechanic. Because you need potions to heal, and you can only get potions through this one. I mean, you can find them in the dungeons too, but the only reliable way of getting potions is to buy them. And that's what this lady is for. But other than buying potions, she also has the added bonus of being able to enchant your weapons and armor. And as you can see on the top right part of the screen, 20 turns into 27. So if we had any of the necessary ingredients and 1,000 money, we can enchant our things to be more powerful, because it's not always possible to get the next tier of items, because you have to be in the next level of dungeon. So if you haven't beat the boss yet and you're feeling like you're a little too underpowered and you're not being able to kill things, then maybe try enchanting things. And it'll help facilitate your ability to defeat your enemies. Now, we're gonna try not to take too much damage. Ouch, he says as he immediately takes damage. And things can fall into pits and be gone forever, so you have to be kind of careful about that. Grab all the necessary ingredients, or items. Oh, this room is rude. Made it through without too much issue. These boulder guys are jerks because if they don't slam into something, there we go. They're invulnerable. You can only hurt them while they're stunned. And if you can see that this top right hole just sparkled. I don't know if you guys could see that, but there's a secret room down here. One that I am not gonna... Oh, it's tempting. Now you activate this and enemies will spawn. I'll just show you guys. I'll do the first round. Now we can't open this chest till we kill everything, and things will keep spawning for a little while. Ah, freaking get off me, stupid slimes. Ouch. And you have to fight waves of enemies to access the chest. Now you're left with the choice. I could activate this again and it would upgrade this to a higher tier chest, and a better chest means better loot. But we'll also have to fight more enemies, and our health is already hurting a little bit. So I'm gonna just go ahead and open the chest as is, take what we get, and move on. Because I would rather live and make it out of here alive than risk it. But that's this whole game, is you kind of have to balance how far are you willing to push your health. This is a healing pool, which will, well, heal you. And so you have to play the balancing game between risk and reward. Ouch. And as you can see, enemies hit hard and they don't apologize for it. And you have very limited inventory space, so after you've traveled around for a while and attacked some enemies and cleared some rooms, you'll realize that your inventory wasn't as big as it looked when you first started. It's pretty easy to just run out of inventory space. And our little pendulum just went off saying that we've made more gold than we will spend to leave the dungeon, because right now it'll cost us 200 gold to return to the surface using our pendant. But those these little golem dudes, I'm not sure why they're such jerks, but they are, and they grab onto an item randomly, whatever one's laying on the ground, and then they just run around with it. But these skeletons can be really nice because they can have potions in them. Sometimes those skeletons will give you weapons. Sometimes they'll give you other such things. I like when they give me weapons, personally. But for now, we will grab this stuff, and the things marked with a star are things we need for our upgrading. Upgrading, I mean crafting, for building our new weapons and armor. Ouch, this is gonna hurt. Some rooms are really nasty, and that's why I like the gloves, because they hit faster. The sword just swings so slowly, and you will see that once I eventually make them. And there's another, let's see, map. The healing pool will always be on the path to the next floor. So the goal is to get from the top floor to the boss floor, and the pool will always be in the correct direction to get to the end of the floor. So if you are ever lost and not sure where to go, just pay attention to where your health pool is and follow the pathing. Ouch. That's why I don't like this guy. Oh wait, I have my broom. That's why I'm thinking about getting a spear, because I like the range of spear. And as you can see, we move on to the next floor, and generally the lower you go in the dungeon, the more likely you'll find high value items. Now this is our new item. It's kind of a double-edged sword item. It goes in the bottom, down there, and we can grab items from our inventory and put them in the mirror, and it auto-sells them. So it's kind of almost alchemy-ish. So like anything you put in there, you get money back for. But you don't know if it's giving you the best price. So like those 2 vines I got 1 gold for. So it tends to rip you off a little bit, but it clears inventory space, so you can sell your really cheap, crappy items to the ether and just go on with your life. For now, we're going to head back to the surface because I would like to do some more towning stuff before we finish for the day. And head on. So we've learned that, wait, we need to check that. I want my gloves as soon as possible. So we need to save 4 teeth stone. Well, let's go back to our chest, actually, and take items out of our inventory appropriately. So we need 6, 12, 18, 24, 24 plus 8. 24 plus 8, brain. That's 32. And we need 32 iron bars, so we'll add this stack. So that's 32 in our inventory, so we can sell all of these. And then we need teeth stone 4, Oh, we need a bunch of teeth stones. We'll put all of our teeth stone in here for now. And then we need the seeds. We need 4, 4, and we'll need all of the seeds. So we'll put all of the seeds we have in there for now too. And activate another day of selling. And we'll also save these because they're necessary for potion making. So we have all the iron bars we need, but we don't have all of the ingredients we need now. Golem core, 80 was a great price for that, and 100 was fair, so I'll make the golem core 80. Put that on for 100, put that on, increase it to 90. Put those on. They're at neutral popularity now, so hopefully people will pay the 30 for them again. Open up our store and start our sales day. Check the price of this. 30 was a bit much, so we'll make this guy 35. And those uneven denominators really do matter. People tend to get really snooty about it, for lack of a better word. So you really have to keep track of your sales. 250 was fair for that. Now this guy, I kind of remember, I think I'll put it at 200. Yeah. And the hopes that you want is to go down to the dungeon, spend an amount of money to come back, and then sell way more than that. So like this, they loved the 260 price, so we'll bump it up to 300 and see how people react to that. And eventually we'll have more and more spots to sell things, and it'll get a little more complex, and because we'll have all those different areas to run around and activate, and it makes for a fun time, really. And this game's more of a laid back, relaxed game. It's not high intensity. It's more just chill. And I like that about it. We'll set this one to 230 since it's right below the 250 mark. And if we run out of inventory, then, or if we run out of items to sell, we'll go ahead and close the shop early because there's no reason to keep open the shop when we're out of inventory. But making good price decisions. Broken sword is worth more than the pot, so I'm going to set the broken sword to 200. See how people feel about that. They like the price of the sticks? Cool. And these are less than iron but more than roots, so I'll make them worth 15. And there are some little trinkety things you can buy for your shop eventually that'll increase like people's tendency to tip, because you can get people to tip your shop in this game, and you can get them to run around your store faster so they buy up your items better. And I think I'll set this one to 80 because 80 was cheap for that, and 35 was cheap for that. So we'll see how they feel about the water things for 80. Now there is like a perfect sale price for everything, and there are guides online for it, but I would rather do things without guides, so I'm probably not going to use those and just try and figure things out on my own, because that's more fun, if you ask me. I did it, like you saw, I do have 2 save files where I'm pretty well off, but I don't really want to continue off of those, so to speak. I just want to play under my own parameters. And we are out of stuff, and we're saving. So with that, guys, I'm going to end this episode. But tell me how you feel about Moonlighter Mondays, how you like this game, and if you want to see more of it. But thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one.